In July 2015, President Uhuru Kenyatta met with members of parliament from central Kenya, where he declared war against illicit brews in the region.
Well, 3 years later, how much progress has this war yielded?
Well, our special projects editor Asha Mwilu returned to the village worst hit by the killer brew and now reports.
It's a typical morning for members of Governor Ferdinand Waititu's Operation Car Sober. These are former alcoholics and brewers of the illicit drink changa in KIAMBU County. For 400 shillings per day, they must maintain sobriety and help the governor to crack down on the hundreds of changa dens in KIAMBU.
Takuwa na hiyo group, watu wake, songeni hiyo, songeni.
Pastor Evans is in charge of the men and women here in Makwa Village, Chania Ward. He puts them in groups and assigns them their daily task.
At the same time, bado watakuwa on operation. We have a group of 76. People were working there at Livachania. So they all know about the Livachania. They all know how to cook that changa. So now they are giving us the techniques that they were using.
We've decided to join today's trek along River Chania. They say this river hosts more than 50 changadens, and the brewers are ever changing their strategies.
Wengine wakaokoka, mimi bado nikakuwa tu nakunywa.
Hapa ndo mlikuwa mnakaa?
Tulikuwa tunakaa hapa. Hasa na mafibuyu ya kukujwa changa. Na sana mimi nilikuwa nalala huko.
Felix Chege shows us the cave where he spent most of his time while working as a brewer and as an ardent fan of the bitter drink.
Wacha niseme mimi niliacha kabisa. Na ninakuambia hivyo mbele ya Mungu. Juu hata ilibidi niokoke. Juu ilisa tena baba yao akasema Waititu akasema pombe imeisha.
We are meant to head to one of the most notorious dens along the river, but we've had to cut short our hike. There's bad news back at the village. A tense air ushers us into what appears to be a crime scene. Could it be another alcoholic who's dropped dead? The reaction from Pastor Evans and his team says otherwise. This is someone they knew personally. One of the men who works on Operation Car Sober, working with the county to crack down on illegal changadens in KIAMBU County, has just been found in the bushes, dead, his eyes gouged out. It's a pretty horrific scene. And it's moments like this that remind those involved and the residents here that the fight against illicit brew has now become a matter of life and death. The victim, we're told, is known as Moses Ngeve, once a notorious changa brewer, but recently reformed under the governor's program. His father believes this murder has everything to do with the fight against illicit brew.
Vile tumekaa na wao tunasikia yani wakisema hao watu waliajiriwa na kina Waititu. Hao watu tukijua ni mtu gani huyu anafanyanga mambo kama hii hata tutakuwa atakuwa mbalani.
The murder has left the Operation Car Sober team visibly shaken. Whispers are now filling the air. One of the reforming brewers tells us she fears for her life. She says this is a sign that the active brewers are fighting back. But anyone who criticizes the governor is usually pulled out of the program. And so she asks us to protect her identity.
Alikuwa anatafuta pombe na hakuwa anataka mtu mwenye wote anauza pombe. He was so active in that. So tunashindwa what happened. Maybe ni mmoja wao alijua anapiga pombe zao akamfuatilia.
Mkienda hizo crackdown za pombe haramu, huwa mnapatiwa security na county?
Hapana. Maybe tukipata tunaambia maybe tukipata hizo pombe na nini tupigie askari na wanakuja.
But nyinyi ndio mnafanya kazi yenyewe?
Yeah, ni sisi.
The Car Sober program has received criticism even within the county leadership. Many say it's simply a band-aid for a much deeper problem.
Hii kazi kuna ma-enemies. Kuna wengine wanataka tu pombe iendelee. So pia hawezi furahia.
Na utaendelea nayo ama?
For now, bado sijui aje. I'm very confused.
What began as a usual day as part of the governor's rehabilitation program ends with sorrow and confusion for the Kasoba team. As police begin their search for Ngethe's killers, these men and women can only hope that today is not their new normal. Asha Mwilu, Citizen TV.
Very powerful story there by Asha. In fact, Asha Mwilu joins us in the studio live.
That's right, Asha. We've seen the human cost of this menace and, of course, what Kasoba is trying to do to fight it. But give us more perspective on this.
I actually want to start with River Chania and the reason why we went back to Kiambu and back to this river. So River Chania flows across 3 counties, and that's Kiambu County, Nyeri County, and Murang'a County. And the brewers love this river because the raw material, the main one, water, is so readily available. And that's why we went back to Kiambu County. But let me just give you what Governor Waititu is doing so far. So right now, the governor has a program called Kasoba Operation. And what he has 5,000 reforming alcoholics and brewers enrolled in that program. He's paying them about 400 shillings per person. So you can imagine Kiambu County is spending at least 2 million shillings per day in the fight against illicit brew. Now, look at what NACADA gave us, the figures they had from a survey sampling central Kenya counties in 2007 and 2017. So they said that the prevalence of the consumption of illicit brews in those counties in 2007 was at 13%, and 2017, 12.5%. So how far have we gone with this war? Let's look at Kenya. Countrywide, Interior Ministry is saying that we have at least 5,000 deaths linked to alcoholism every year. Now, let me remind you what the president did in 2015, in fact, just 3 years ago, and that was in July, when he met all MPs, elected leaders from central Kenya, and he told them this is a war that they must prioritize. And this is one of the most memorable quotes that President Uhuru had from that meeting, saying agenda number 1 is pombe, that's alcohol, agenda number 2 is pombe, and third is pombe. So the question is, we've seen all these images pouring illicit brews in all the counties. Will Governor Waititu be successful